Welcome to this video. So I did not do a lot of videos in the last couple of months here on YouTube because I was so busy with a member community, with a video course, with a lot of other stuff. But I decided to make this video and hopefully also making some more videos in the next couple of months. So in this video I want to look with you at the market, also at the watch list, explain a little bit what I'm looking for when I look here, when I look at the market and also at the stocks, and what we are looking for in the member community. So I recently produced a video a couple of minutes ago for the members, the midweek update, and I talked about the market here. So this is the setup, what we are looking at every day, every week. Looking at the Nasdaq composite, looking at our main trend indicator MMTS, which is an indicator developed by Brian Martz. So thank you very much for that. And it's very similar to the IBD accumulation and distribution days. It helps us to time our buys and sells a little bit better. We look at net highs and net lows to confirm what we see in the market and in the market trend indicator. We look at the stocks above the MA200 to get a little bit of feeling, okay, is the broad market right now on our side or not? And also we have some other indicators like the percentage distance from moving average 50 indicator, which gives us some hints if the market is extended or not. And also I observe the advanced decline ratio, where you can see, okay, is there a strong accumulation going on in the market or not? So do we have any hints that the bottom is very close after a correction? So this is something I interpret every day. I go through it every day. I share my thoughts, of course, with the members. And of course, that's also all available in the video course. And it helped us a lot to time our buys here in the last couple of months. So especially when you see here this bear market rallies, a lot of stocks moved up 30-50% and more in these bear market rallies, and you can see that the MMTS indicator very quickly changed from red to green here, so that we are able to benefit from these rallies. But more or less you can see the market went sideways in the last couple of months here. So it was a bear market, and it's of course a bear market situation. But when I talk to the members, I always say, hey, this is more like a very big choppy sideways range we are in right now. So that's what you can also see if you look at all the market indicators here. Let's look at the current watch list. So what are we observing right now in the member community, and some of the stocks and some of the commodities I also show in the free newsletter I provide. So you can go to juliankomar.com and register for the newsletter. So what we are looking for right now is, of course, gold. Super attractive. I spoke about that a minute ago in the member video. So because we're looking here at the situation, especially in the weekly chart, in the long-term chart, where we have a big cup and handle pattern, and the market is going sideways here. And it's very close to the highs. So this is super attractive, and we could enter a new bull market in gold very soon. So this is why we're observing the gold market very closely right now. And also Bitcoin is something we are observing here, because Bitcoin bottomed here in the weekly chart. You can see that here, a big head and shoulders pattern here in the weekly chart, and it shows a higher correlation to gold right now. So this is something what we are interested in. We traded that also here on the way up. The same with gold, for example. We traded here this extreme fast move here out of the bottom, and now we're observing Bitcoin, so that it's maybe moving higher from here. Oil was also a market we observed, and I traded that here on this very fast down move, this downswing, and covered my short positions here around the 66 long-term support which you can see here in the markets. So that means I'm not trading only stocks, but also I look for special opportunities in other markets, like for example commodities here, and even sometimes currencies like the US dollar. So yeah, let's look quickly into the watch list. So what are the high potential markets we are observing right now in the community? Of course, semiconductors. So we have a lot of semiconductor stocks on the watch list here because they are leaders right now. They are on new all-time highs. They show very good fundamentals also, and yeah, they are really showing a high relative strength in comparison to the market here. You can see the RS line here. The only thing is, and this is why what I also discussed with the members, is that they are all showing some signs of exhaustion here. Not long-term exhaustion, no exhaustion run, but they start to show signs of distribution here. So high volume on down days, something like rounded top patterns here. And this is something where I usually start to take profits, or on the other side where I try to avoid these names until they had the correction and get rid of all the potential sellers. So that's the case with ACLS, for example, ALGM, what we observe here, and we also trade it here on the way up. We have some other semiconductor stocks on the watch list. AR is something we also traded here on the way up, but this stock is so choppy. But it's in a high potential market, so it's in the silicon carbide market, which is used for electric vehicles, and this is or the most stocks we have right now on the watch list from the semiconductor business has something to do with silicon carbide and also the electric vehicle market. So ACLS, RR, Allegro Microsystems is something we have on the watch list. Mobileye, also automotive and electric vehicle related, but more in the ADAS, systems direction. MPWR is a stock we observe from the semiconductor business. Nvidia, of course, one of the large cap stocks here, standing for the sector and moving higher very nicely. I did here a very small swing trade in the last couple of days here. Rambus is something I bought today here on this breakout. Wonderful base in the weekly chart. Shows a lot of support, shows a lot of demand for the stock. Has very good EPS estimates. It's in an attractive market with an attractive story, so data center related. And that's another theme we're observing right now. So Rambus is data center related, SMCI is data center related. We're observing since a couple of months right now, and also ANET. So Arista Networks also data center related. So Arista Network is really eating Cisco and the market share of Cisco. And that's also something we traded here in the last couple of days. So, and now we're waiting here for a next pullback to get into it again and hopefully trading it higher. Another stock we observe here is STM. I also bought into the stock. That's also semiconductor and silicon carbide related stock. So it's a European-based semiconductor manufacturer. It's also electric vehicle related and in general automotive related, and shows a wonderful cup and handle base here in the weekly chart. So this is really what we are looking for. You know, great fundamentals, super interesting story with a lot of growth potential, and then on the other side a great pattern which shows up that there is a lot of support and a lot of demand from institutions. And then we have some other stocks which are not 100% related to one theme, but showing great patterns. And this is here, for example, ELF. We observe since a couple of months here right now, traded the stock also. I bought the stock here on this breakout again and observe it now, how it follows through. here to the upside, but perfect patterns, perfect behavior in the weekly chart. That is really what we are looking for. We also have other stocks like First Solar, which we observe and compare with the sister stocks from the solar sector. So this is a stock I discovered very early on here in July 2021. I traded that here on the way up, and and then it changed character and became very choppy. So, but that is a stock which is super interesting because they have a monster backlog and start to realize this backlog from the solar industry, and they are also benefiting from the Inflation Reduction Act. So this is something we observe in the community. We also observe and trade here FT&T, Fortinet, a conservative leader in the cybersecurity sector. So wonderful base here, wonderful pattern. The sister stock is also on the watch list. Palo Alto Networks here, so that looks also very good. And then we have some other stocks on the watch list, which are candidates which we maybe trade in future, or where we are discussing about, where we are waiting for the right entry. Something like Duolingo here, which behaved very nicely, and also traded it here on the way up a little bit. So this is a stock we are observing, but I'm still not sure until today what the real potential of the stock is. Four is something we are observing here, so payment provider with very good growth but a very choppy base. HIMS is something we're observing, very similar business to ELF, so very nice pullback here to the EMA 13 in the weekly chart. Now it has to set up again. We observe Intel since quite some time, very strong young growth company in the software and financial services business, and also nerds here. We are looking, observing that. Discovered the stock very early. Now it's in a pullback mode. Let's see what will happen to that. Other stocks here like Hubs, for example, more conservative but great software company with very good estimates and also very good growth and a perfect base. So this is what I'm looking for. And other stocks here like Integral, AdScience Holdings, which are added to the watch list because of this very nice up move on good volume, and also because we have some other stocks on the watch list like Perry, which is also an advertising related stock here, and it's following through here to the upside with a very good trend. And when you discover sister stocks, then you can see, okay, maybe the whole sector is on the move. So IS and also Perry are related to each other. Then we have some other stocks here on the watch list. IoT is one we're observing here with a very nice pullback. So these are young growth stocks, IPO growth stocks, where we assess, okay, how is the risk appetite right now from institutions? And this is why IoT is on our list, and they have a very interesting product, but now the stock has to set up and show that there is enough demand to follow through here to the upside. LSCC, also a semiconductor related stock. Onan is something we added here to the watch list. We're waiting now for the right moment to get into the stock and wait until all the potential selling is done here after this very strong up move. And sometimes we have stocks on the watch list we just observe and wait for the right moment, because buying right is super important, and buying right always consists of two things: the right market and also the right situation in the stock. Let's look. Here's another one, very young stock, Squarespace. Members own that here on this very nice up move here. We discovered also the stock here after this fast up move here. I'm still not sure about the big potential of the stock, but it's moving nicely, especially for short-term traders and swing traders. But we also have here some other names on the watch list. Sterling Infrastructure. We discovered the stock here in January and a little bit earlier when there was a perfect base, but it developed not so much momentum. But why it's on our watch list? great fundamentals, interesting stories. So they help all the e-commerce companies and data center companies to build their warehouses and also data centers. So this is very interesting. TGLS is a construction stock we observe since months now, but it developed not the right pattern and not the right momentum we want to see. It's too choppy here, but we still observe the stock. UFPT is also a stock which does not look so good in the daily chart, but very good in the weekly chart. We know the story, of course, of the stock, so it's not it's not an industrial specialty stock as TradingView highlights here. No, it's more a medical stock. Super interesting story, but yeah, it has to follow through here to the upside, and you can also not own every stock. WIPS is a stock. This is one of the stocks with, I think, negative sales growth, so not very good current numbers, but very good estimates. We have on the watch list, and we observe China stocks since a couple of months. MNSO is another China stock here. You can see that with a wonderful breakout and wonderful rally here. It's now pulling back into the EMA 13, and WIPS is another China stock we have on the watch list we observe, and it shows a wonderful base here. Yeah, so you can see we have some very good winners on the watch list, some potential winners on the watch list. We are able to time the market, and this is super important. I repeat that over and over again, not only in the community but also in the free newsletter. Doing your homework, that's important. How you can come up with such a watch list? Only by doing the homework. And doing the homework means, what are the strong stocks right now on the market based on relative strength? What are the stocks with great fundamentals based on your research when you look into the sales and EPS numbers from the company? And super important, know the stories. Know why institutions are accumulating the stock. What makes them so attractive that they keep accumulating it? So what is the story behind this stock? Why are institutions buying it? Because of great services, great products, a lot of trust into the management, and a lot of growth potential in the future. So again, ANET is eating Cisco. And there are a lot of other great stories behind the stocks. So if you like that short video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any question, you can write a comment here below this video directly. You can follow me, of course, on Twitter, here on YouTube, and also subscribe to my free newsletter. If you're interested in the member community, you can get a 14 days free trial and and benefit also from my work.